Hey, I'm Lauren. Recently, I've had a lot of conversations about nutrition, and while I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a dietitian. I am someone who has struggled on both ends of the spectrum. Growing up, I was overweight, and I battled with being overweight, being obese, being unable to work out, being unable to lose weight because of medical issues, asthma. So when I was in my teens, I took that into my own hands and did something very unhealthy, and it ended up in me becoming anorexic. And so I've always had kind of a control and a negative view of food. And that followed me well into my young adult years, being married, having kids. I was actually told I wasn't going to be able to have kids because I had wrecked my body for so many years. So that was something that, we quietly dealt with. And we have 2 miracle babies. So I've learned over the years the relationship between food and health and living healthy and having results in your fitness. I had this warped sense that I had to eat only 1,200, 1,000 calories, and I had to really limit myself if I wanted to lose weight. And honestly, that's true. If your goal is to lose weight, you need to have a calorie deficit with the output of exercise, for sure. You still need to feed your body for results. And a lot of people will tell you you need to drink this or take this pill or use this cream or drink this drink or, do this wrap or whatever. And honestly, it comes down to you can't maintain that. You can't keep doing that to your body because our bodies need fuel. They need food. And God created food for a reason. And it all has a purpose. And from what I've found and what I've seen in others, when you eat a balanced diet with the nutrition your body needs for results, it performs the way you want it to. It's just the way it was designed. If you feed it well, it will give back. And so a couple of years ago, I learned that the reason that I wasn't having results is because I wasn't eating enough. And that scared the crap out of me because I was programmed to be anorexic. I had decided long ago that this was the only way that I was going to stay small. I was going to stay this weight. And I've learned I'm not able to weigh myself or be controlled by numbers. That's one of my triggers. So I know that about myself. I also know that I cannot control food. I had a negative view of food and I thought it was the enemy. So I needed to control it. But what I didn't realize that food is actually our fuel. And so I need to have a healthy respect for it, but also gratitude and appreciation and an understanding of what my body needs to function. So my body was in a state of starvation. You heard the term skinny fat. People are like, oh, you look great, but you're holding on to a lot. You're just not where you want to be. And you know you can feel better. You can do more, but you're not sure what's wrong. Like you're working out, you feel like you're eating healthy, but things aren't changing. So that's where I was. I quickly realized when I was introduced to a program that I was not eating enough. And for me, that was scary. In the first 3 days, I cried when I had to eat more food than I was used to. But then I started to see the results that I was working so hard for. My body started working, performing the way I needed it to. I had more energy, I had more stamina, endurance. Things really started changing in my body. I was building the muscle that I so desperately wanted, and my body was actually leaning out. So what I wanted to share with you was the system that I use that I no longer need to use because it taught me portions. It taught me how to eat for what my body needs, not necessarily what I think I want. And that was huge for me. So really quickly, I want to run through it for you because it's given me flexibility. It's released that sense of control. It's opened up just a freedom that I can go out to dinner and I can choose what I want, but also what I need. And that is a mind shift for me. What does your body need? Oh, then I need to order this from the menu because I have a checklist in my head, and I'll show you in a minute. And I know that I will stay balanced and I won't have too many of one thing and not enough of another because of this checklist, because of this visual reminder that I have for myself. So a few years ago, I was introduced to something called the portion fix. I know this is going to be backwards and I'm sorry. So what it is, you see these containers. And each color container is corresponding to a food group. So green is veggies, Red is protein. Blue is healthy fats. Orange is oils and seeds. And then teaspoons are nut butters. Purple is fruits. And yellow is carbs. So some people look at these and are like, are you kidding me? These are teeny. But once you pack those containers full and dump them on a plate and start combining containers, wow, it's a lot of food. You will be full. And in fact, most people that I work with say, I can't eat all of this. Ah, exactly. We've also programmed our bodies, our kids, ourselves to survive on less. So we wonder why our bodies aren't performing well. It's because they have nothing to burn. They have nothing to use for energy. We might feel run down. We might not see the gains that we're working so hard for. And that's because we're not feeding our bodies for the results we crave. So what happened is I got this system with all of these little containers that I'm about to show you. And I'll make sure I don't double up on any because we use them in my household for other things now. Like putting grapes in, which is great to be able to measure that, right? So they all come with lids and they come like this, stacked in this cute little containers. So like I said, this is a serving of green. This is a serving of, this is a serving of veggies. This is a serving of fruits. This is a serving of carbs, healthy fats. Here's, remember, your seeds and your oils. They all fit inside of each other. And then your protein. So what the heck do you do with all this, right? One of these isn't enough. One of these, of each of these food groups is not enough. So throughout the day, you're given so many of each category to eat. And it's all based on your height, your weight, your activity level, the intensity of your workouts, what results are you craving? What are you wanting to do? Are you wanting to maintain? Are you wanting to lose weight? Are you wanting to build muscle? And all of that is found in this little book. All comes together. So you can go through here and it walks you through getting started and teaching you what every single color-coded container is. What I wanted to show you was this. This is how you get started. It walks you through if you have a sedentary lifestyle, if you have a moderately active lifestyle, or if you're highly active, to make sure that you're feeding your body well, feeding your body enough. Now let's be clear, we're not all cookie cutter robots. We don't all fit into one model. And that was very true with me because after I went through this conversion and this chart, which goes on to the next page and the next page to make sure that we account for your workout program, your lifestyle, for calorie deficits, for a baseline. It gives you a baseline. Now, my baseline was the first calorie category. That wasn't enough for me because I was lifting heavy. I'm doing tennis matches. I'm staying active as an active mom. I might go paddleboarding. I might go ride my bike. You know, I'm doing things all day long. I'm cleaning the house. I'm running and getting groceries. I'm lifting groceries. And so for me, I had to bump up that calorie category to make sure I had enough fuel because I was hungry at the end of the day. All it took was like one more of these and one more of these. You know, it's just a different shift. Instead of I'm going to have a whole other meal or I'm going to have a bowl of ice cream, which is empty, I want to make sure that I'm feeding my body purposefully. So for me, going over to the next page, I know that I need to have 4 servings of veggies, 3 of fruits, 4 of protein, 3 carbs, 1 healthy fat, 1 orange, seeds and dressing, and 4 of the oils and nut butters. Now, I'm allergic to nut butters. I'm allergic to nuts. So I have to make sure that I kind of substitute that. So I get oils in my dressings. I get oils and when I cook. I might put a little bit of oil in my Shakeology, coconut oil, and it all works together. You might not be like, oh, this is crazy, or this is I can't taste this. You're getting it. Putting your coconut oil in your Shakeology means you're checking that box and you're giving yourself the necessary healthy fats that you need. Same thing. I put avocado on a piece of really thin whole grain bread. Well, it's like a teeny little round with hummus. So that's blue and a yellow. Ah, awesome. I start to think in colors. So then you go over here and you have a checklist. And what I did was I took one of these and I laminated it and I put it on my refrigerator. so that every time I ate a meal until I was comfortable with this system, I was checking it off. I knew that I needed 4, 3, 4, 2, 1, 1. And so I put the numbers in the top, and throughout the day, maybe if you want to eat an egg, I'll give you an example. Here you go. This one's already filled out. So meal 1, day 1. They had a green, a purple, a red, a yellow, a blue, and an orange. So when I look at this, I think, all right, so you had an omelet, okay? Eggs, veggies, maybe you had some steel-cut oats, maybe you had a piece of toast, maybe you put some avocado on that omelet, you cooked it in olive oil, and you had a side of grapes. That's a big breakfast. But you notice that they had their biggest meal in the beginning and then it tapered off throughout the day. And you account for snacks. Maybe a teaspoon of peanut butter is a little snack. Maybe a teaspoon of peanut butter here. And then throughout the day having 4 servings of protein and 3 veggies. So this might have been a salad with some salmon or some chicken. And you see how it all adds up. And you're going to find that you are satisfied, fulfilled, and you are going to have great results. And like I said, if after a week you go through this and you're like, whoa, you know what? I find that I'm hungry this time of day. Tweak it. Maybe eat more calories that time of day or bump up a category. A category is literally adding like one other container. So it can't be like this whole, like I said, it can't be like a whole, I gotta eat a whole nother meal. It's really adding 1 serving of veggies, 1 protein, and maybe 1 carb. That's it throughout the entire day. If you're hungry, have a few other extra vegetables. Have an apple. But you're not blowing all of your results on going completely crazy. What I do like about this is it accounts for treats and wine. So that yellow container, that carb, you can tweak that and you can switch it out 3 times a week for wine and treats. And there are recipes in here for some delicious treats, and maybe you get 3. So maybe you're not a big carb eater. You know, I like sweet potatoes, and I put them in my salad, actually, all diced up. So, or I have steel-cut oats with fruit and honey. So, there you go again. I've already had a purple and a yellow, and I've had a little bit of, well, it's kind of a cheat, but honey is natural, so I think it's okay. All right, so there you go. You can have a glass of wine. You just have to not have one of your yellows that day. So say you're going out to dinner and you're going to have a date with your hubby. You're having a celebration for something. You can plan for that. You can fudge a little bit. You can live life and stay on track with your results. You're not going to totally blow everything by enjoying a meal. Absolutely not. You've got to be able to bounce back and get back on track. This is what this teaches and shows us visually. So you start to see portions. I even traveled with these. You know, I was like, I need something that's easy. So I would throw some cut up veggies in here and put my hummus in here. There's my snack. Or put some grapes in here or some apple slices and put the lid on and throw it in my bag and I'm ready to go. So I'm never caught in a situation where I'm stuck and I'm looking for something because I'm hungry. So they travel well. Your portions are already portioned out. You know, you can have the entire container. I mean, shove it in there. But like I said, when you fill this thing up with dry steel-cut oats and then cook them and it compounds, pretty cool. And then when you know you can pack it full of pasta, put that on a plate, add some sauce, which is a purple because it's actually fruit because tomatoes have seeds in their fruits and because of the sugar content. Or salsa is also a purple because of the sugar content. And then you add some veggies. It becomes a whole filling meal. So this is something that has really helped me because like I said, now I can go out and I can see what a portion is. I can eyeball it because I've been taught. I was never taught. I was taught to eat what's on my plate. I was taught to finish what I'm given. And that wasn't really a good system to have because nowadays our portions are so huge and it's too much food. Absolutely too much food. That supersize mentality doesn't work. And you need to learn to fuel your body for results, for life. And so if you learn this, and if you learn to have that mental checklist, you can go throughout your day and then go out and know what your body still needs. So if you're lacking a few containers, look on a menu. and see how you can fulfill that. You're never going to feel deprived. You're never going to feel like you're giving something up because you're still eating the foods you love. You're just learning to eat them in the right proportions. So this is something that comes with most of the programs that I'm able to help you guys with. And this is where the real change happens, where you lose the belly fat, where you start to see the changes in your lower half, where you start to build muscle, where your hair is healthy, where your skin glows. All those changes. And so for me also, Shakeology is a red. That really helps me as a vegan because it's hard to get those proteins in. So being able to actually add that and have naturally occurring vitamins and minerals and plant-based proteins and probiotics and prebiotics, that's awesome. And I don't have to overthink that. That's easy on the go and takes me about 2 minutes to make. So I hope that was helpful. Sorry for the hitch in the video. It stopped for some reason. I hope this is super helpful for you guys, and I hope that it answers some questions and that you'll jump in and let me help you. So hope you have a great day. Bye.